Hello, and welcome to Season 4 of The Strick, where we talk to production experts and marketing experts, and a little bit of everything in between about their expertise, lessons they've learned, and how they're going to deal with all the trends of the future. Today, we have on Milena Dory, a digital marketing professional and wellness enthusiast, who sees the connection between wellness and productivity as inextricably linked. But first, we have to discuss caffeine.
What's your drink of choice at Starbucks, Milena?
I was just going to say this is not the one. This is my first caffeinated beverage in almost 10 years.
What?
Why today? Why?
Because I was so tired yesterday and over the weekend that my best friend was like, we're just going to do a little taste. But normally I get like a matcha drink or something like that. But I generally don't do coffee or like Coke or Pepsi or anything like that.
And so now that you've had a coffee, do you feel like, are you back on the caffeine train, or is this a one and done situation?
Well, it's not one anymore. This is like 4.
Right.
So
Well, maybe this will kind of like segue into, I think, what this conversation is kind of be about. Because when I was looking back on my notes, it seemed like a lot of what we covered in our past conversations have been avoiding burnout and like taking care of yourself and being able to make sure you have a work-life balance and a family balance, and that starts with self-care.
mm-hmm.
Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
Yep. And so I mean, I imagine if you're avoiding caffeine, you're pretty intentional. Yeah. So about the things you consume and why.
I am. Yeah, like I am definitely very intentional about what I eat. I mean, sometimes, I cheat sometimes, but I try to keep it as clean and as healthy as possible because I feel better. And I know that taking care of my body is just one step in the process of living a quality life. So
Going back to burnout, have you been feeling burnout? What's kind of your strategy?
So, yeah. Well, okay. Recently, the only thing that was burning me out was planning a toddler's birthday party. Other than that, I've been pretty okay. I think burnout as a whole will humble you so quickly. People, they want to be like, nowadays, there's this notion of you're so motivated if you do all of the things and you like get everything that needs to be done for the year done in one day, you get like gold stars. But I think you can't be too motivated to rest. As somebody who I've been a consultant, I've been a freelancer, I've worked in corporate America, I've had my own business. And so even within all of that freedom, or the freedom that can be built from those positions, if you don't set your boundaries, you can trap yourself. And so thinking of the pressure that there is to always be on and always be available and to take every opportunity and to learn the newest thing and, never let up and just be the first person to know stuff in the room. That grind mentality will literally have you so tired, your inspiration will kind of dwindle. And then you'll be questioning everything that you're doing that you once found so like you loved doing it before and you were so passionate about it before. So for me, avoiding burnout is about like honoring just, I guess, the season that I'm in and the moment that I'm in and what's going on in my life. Like sometimes I am very passionate about learning and growing and building. And then there's sometimes when I need to be I need to be rested. I need to chill out. And then there's sometimes when I'm very inspired and I want to take everything that I learned and I want to put it into campaigns and I want to put it into strategies, and it's about, like I said, honoring those seasons and then also finding a balance. Growth doesn't always have to be like loud. It doesn't have to be, and you just got to listen to yourself, really. And you have to remember to find the joy, because all of the things that you do you should feel excited about doing them, not like uh, you're checking a box, or you're like I'm doing this to put this on LinkedIn so that no, just do it because you enjoy doing it. And if it happens to land on LinkedIn, then great. But other than that, it should be about becoming you, not a machine. When I feel scattered, I can tell in my output, whether that be work or how I deal with my family or anything, cooking even. And my ability to lead, it gets shaky. My ability to show up is it's just it loses its depth. Being strategic and focused on having structured self-care is very important, like having a rhythm to my days, or my weeks, one that focuses on, yes, my ambition to grow in my career or scholastically or whatever, and then also my need for peace and recharging. It helps me show up as my full self. And so that way I'm not choosing, you know, like balance in the traditional sense. I'm actually curating what I feel is more alignment for myself. Everything grows because I grow, and I can't grow if I'm not watering myself. So if you are a chaotic person inside, your your brand is going to be chaotic. You're going to show up chaotic to work. Your output's going to be chaotic. So, I don't run a circus. I don't even like circus because I don't like clowns. So
Neither do I.
disconnection is another way, like, to avoid burnout. I'm like, oh my goodness.
You don't realize how much of a difference until it's gone. Like, and even in the other room doesn't count as much as like literally gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And if it, we have floors. So sometimes my phone will be upstairs all the way, and I'll come back and there's so many missed text messages and missed emails, and I just feel refreshed. Now I can answer. When you wake up, don't let your phone be the first thing you grab. Do a stretch.
Yeah.
Drink some water with lemon or mint or lime or whatever you want to do. Wash your face, brush your teeth. Like, do something else and then get on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm always like squinting to look at it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wake up first.
Yeah. And then if the phone, you're holding it while you're like laying down, it'll fall on your face, and that causes other problems.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's so many things you can do to just make sure that you have a good aura about yourself and bring your best self to any and every opportunity and every space that you occupy, whether that be work or family or friendships or just going to the store. You can make somebody's day going to the store, but you won't even be thinking about that if you're overwhelmed and you're walking around frowning.
I mean, this is also in terms of getting that support, which is so crucial to growing in your career, but also feeling confidence and also feeling supported is the importance of a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
How has your experience been with that?
I had a great experience. Well, okay, so I consider one person in my past my mentor because it changed the direction of my career. So I was working in project management at first, and I knew I had more creativity to give, but project management, I was in Excel doc. I was in there with the formulas, and I have no idea why or how I ended up there, but that was where I was. It wasn't until senior director, I believe he was, or senior VP, of an employee resource group that I was in at the time, saw something in me, my way with words, my ability to connect people, my storytelling, and just the ideas that I was having. Um, it was then when I got the chance to stretch and I got into marketing, and communications and storytelling, and then it expanded into branding because he let me support the projects that were going on and the events that were happening, that needed the digital communications and internal campaigns, and event marketing. I didn't have a job title change, or extra pay or anything. It was just ad hoc projects, and he opened that door for me. And when he opened that door, he it sparked something. So I already had my undergrad degree and in marketing and business management. So now I was finally able to use it, and it lit me up, and I was enjoying that part more than my actual job. And I was forever grateful. I am forever grateful to him. He passed away a couple of years ago from cancer, but I'm forever grateful to him for giving me the space to fully show up, and seeing that spark in me, and then watering the seed and allowing me to find my lane. But yeah, like I said at the beginning too, like mentorship, in my head it looks more formal, but I know that it doesn't always have to be a formal relationship. It can just be someone who's advocating for you in rooms that you didn't even know about, or you didn't know that you could walk into, or someone giving you a shot when your experience, or like seeing something in you that matches the vision that they have, but you don't have the experience to get there just yet, but your energy does, and they can see something in your brain that says like, no, you belong here as well. So now, of course, I try to pay it forward. I try to put myself in a position to where I can help younger generation if they want to become or get into communications or digital marketing, especially for Black women and Latino women, because I know what it's like to be talented and capable, and then just waiting for someone to say, like, I see you, come here, let's build. So yeah, it's definitely something that I would call legacy work, because you need that in order to build yourself. And then it also helps the person who's mentoring to share their passion with somebody else so that they can help other people.
That's a great point, and I feel like that's important in both directions. Like, I think people want a mentor thinking it's like this, almost like a class, like, oh, I'll get a mentor and then I follow these steps and I'll just automatically get the career I want because I've been like enrolled in this mentorship, and that's not how it works. But also the mentor, it feels like, okay, I've got to like adopt this person, when really it's just a lot of like micro, could just be one day that you push someone in the right direction, and that is mentorship. So that's an interesting point. I never really thought about that before.
Yeah, I like the different outlook on mentorship, and it's really great that you're trying to also pay it forward. That's so important. Like, a lot of people just get to where they are, and
Gatekeep.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate because there's so much information in the world, and we can't learn all of it, but if we all learn something and then just share little tidbits of what we know, then our knowledge base can expand so much, and there's enough money in the world for everyone. That is a totally different topic.
We cannot get into that.
Yeah.
Don't let me get into it.
Once you learn how to utilize something new and you understand it, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, which also can be another conversation.
Well, yeah, the internet invented social influencers, which you said you work with a lot.
I do, yes.
So it's like a whole category of people that the rules aren't even really written. Like, people are still figuring out what is it worth? Like, what's the bartering system? How many followers really matter? That all
Yeah.
that stuff is so foreign to me.
Right. And it's not even like now they're saying, oh, followers don't matter, because the people with the millions of followers don't really engage with their followers. Like
They're too big.
right. They can't, if you post something on Instagram and you have a million comments, there's no way that somebody is going to be sitting there answering
Right.
every single. So a lot of brands are more looking at, the micro and the micro influencers and the smaller ones who have smaller following, big enough to where we can still make an impact, and get our message across and broaden our reach, but also small enough to where, if we do an event, some of our influencers followers will be there, or they will tune in if it's a virtual event. I'm just happy that executives are open to seeing if it works, because a lot of executives that I've come across in the past are afraid to try something new. They kind of want to stick to what they know because it has been working, which, if it isn't broke, don't fix it type of mentality. But at the same time, you can be left behind. And then what's going to happen when you have to do the new thing and you're years behind everybody else? Then it's going to be that much harder for you to catch up and then update your processes and then update your operations. And then, so yeah.
Well, how do you feel about, because I would imagine like the biggest concern is these old school people that are used to fully having all the control on the brand, like the exact right font, the exact right color, the exact right sizing, and like this is what we always say, this exact phrase, versus like influencers who just butcher all of that in I think a good way, but it could also be like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like what is that balance? Like how do you talk to one side and connect it to the other side? It's a whole new, it's like, so the old school versus like what's
Yeah.
happening now are so far apart, and like you said, neither one is really wrong,
It's
but
just,
times are changing.
yeah, and it's different. I think you have to embrace the differences. But as far as the conversation goes, when I'm with a company that has that type of mentality where they want to hire an influencer to regurgitate their current messaging, I fight really hard and I try to get them to see that the reason that they have the followers that they have and they have the community is because they speak to their audience from them. So while we may want to give them like a branding session, or like I will like onboard them as our influencer or as our advocate for the company or brand, the bullet points of the messaging will still be delivered to the audience, but we just have to keep it in their voice and tone, because it it's not gonna hit the same. The
Right.
audience is gonna know, like, oh, they just told you to say that. You're reading from a script. Like, people trust people more than they trust brands. That's actually been studied, that's out there. And
Yeah.
so I try to deliver that data like, hey, look, this is what it is. If we want to reach these people, we have to do things a little bit differently. We can still speak in our voice and tone, but having, hiring them to just have a face and a voice behind what we write for them, word for word, is just, it's not going to be as effective as allowing them the autonomy, a little autonomy, to speak on behalf of the business.
I was just going to say, I think that's, such an important aspect of an influencer is authenticity. So yeah, it's more authentic to talk about something in their voice versus something that might sound like it's coming from someone else.
The people who follow these influencers, they think of them as like their friend, their inner friend. And so they follow them for years and years and years. So they go through their lives with them, like whatever the influencer shares, they are there with them. They are invested. Beyonce, everyone loves seeing the babies. Beyonce, in my mind, is my cousin. Like, and so I'm going to know when something is legitimately coming from her versus her saying something because she's doing a commercial with a brand or business. And so it's the same thing with influencers. The people who follow them and have been with them since before they became these content creators are going to recognize the differences in the messaging, the tone, the voice, and what they're talking about. Like, you don't want to get someone who's interested in makeup to talk about, I don't know, coffee. If all of their content is about makeup, why are we now talking about coffee? It's off brand. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And the reason I follow you in the first place is because you're talking about makeup. You know what I mean? So now I'm questioning, should I unfollow you? Are you becoming one of those influencers who just talks about all of the different things just for a check? These are the things that actually go into the minds of people when you don't stay on brand or you don't remain within your niche as a content creator.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting. This is maybe a little off topic, but I'm fascinated by the types of influencers that were just like funny and relatable. Like they weren't experts on anything, but they were just funny and relatable. And then they get so big that they like get a lot of free stuff and they get invited to red carpet premieres and like they're not relatable anymore. And so then I think that's where like a lot of people struggle, where it's like you got some form of success, but your brand is that you're like a loser on the couch, and everyone's like, well, I'm a loser on the couch. And all of a sudden you're hawking like, yeah, candles or whatever it is, and you're like, this is not, I don't
Right.
get paid to do that. You're not actually my friend, and the parasocial relationship just collapses.
Right. Like, where did the candles come from? We've never seen you you've never said that you liked candles, and you said you liked couches and darkness.
Right.
Wow. They're normal. They're people. They just have a large following. They just, I met Tay Diggs a few times, and he's just he just is on TV sometimes. They really are just normal people. So if you freak out, oh my God, like if you have like the moment,
Yeah.
which if I ever met Beyonce, I don't know how I would act. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would be that mom. Like, let them come over and hang out in the basement or in the backyard with my daughter, and I'll cook for them. I would love. Do you guys want oxtail? I'll make some oxtail. Like, I would and it would be a whole situation, because I am that extra sometimes when it comes to food, because I love food. I eat healthy, but the food is good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it
Mm-hmm. That's the point.
That's the
And
point.
Beyonce needs to know, in case she's like, she usually listens in, but just in case.
Share this. You
Yeah.
guys go ahead and click that share button, because you never know who she knows, and she likes to come on YouTube and see things. Beyonce, babe, I got you.
To your point, Melina, you never know who is going to see the content that you are posting and how it will change you or your life.
Yeah, and people are they want everything to be so produced and so perfect, and record it and post it.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna see it, and it's gonna be great. And if 80 people see it, that's 80 people that see it that wouldn't have seen it before. So it's just a mentality shift.
So you're saying you don't want us to edit this at all? I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just like,
That's why I didn't put on any makeup, because I'm raw. Real.
Same.
No, I actually just ran out of time. Anyway. I think this has been amazing. I think we covered like such a wide range of topics, but also I really feel like a connected thread was there. So I'm really glad we finally got this on the books.
yeah, same.
Thank you so much for taking the time and talking to us.
I think you just kind of like hit it on the head.
And thank you for listening to The Strick. If you have any thoughts, we'd love to hear them. Comment here, on Instagram, or LinkedIn. This is a podcast from Istrico Productions. We'll see you all in 2 weeks.